Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
And I'm reaching out to all of my brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to the Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Jody.
Family, rising. You guys are doing amazing. Happy Monday. Had a beautiful weekend. 6 minutes past the top of the hour. Everybody is out to the Black Hot Fire Network, the media of the 21st century. Listening to the Pan-African Bliss Show. This is Sarafina with Freedom is Coming. I think majority of you are familiar with this song. Yes, Yes, karibuni sana. I hope you guys are doing great this wonderful Monday morning. On your end, it is exactly 7 minutes past 2 p.m. right here in the 254. Travel live with me on the radio and on YouTube. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you're looking forward to having a beautiful day and a beautiful week ahead of you, like I am. But karibuni sana on today's conversation. This is the Pan-African Bliss Show. We get to do this every Monday, from Monday to Friday, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. But today we are a little bit late. And of course, Kamlesh is back. In case you guys just missed his show, remember to tune in tomorrow. He has shows on the radio and of course on the network as well. And so you guys catch up with him and see what he's talking about. But karibuni sana. Right here in my hand, I have interesting conversation, of course, with news and updates of what has been happening during the weekend, including Nigeria being our top conversation, where we remember last week we had news and information that Nigeria did manage to pay off his debt. That was at 3.4 billion. But this actually has been refuted by the IMF, and that they're claiming that Nigeria has not fully repaid their debts. And we shall look at that as we check actually during the weekend still, because they're claiming they want to set themselves free. We also saw that was 2 weeks ago. The IMF and the World Bank did release an article saying that in 2027, this is in 2 years, Nigerians are going to be very poor, extra poor, more than they are right now. But Tinubu is trying to actually borrow more money as a way to boost the country's economy, and he has gone all the way to Qatar to seek investments and seek how they can cooperate, literally, not investment, but seek how they can cooperate. But along that, we shall also talk about Kenya as well, which is our major conversation, where we have Kenya and the UAE signing custom cooperations and mutual assistance agreements. And we shall be checking what is this all about, because we've been seeing the disadvantages that the UAE is coming with, or as literally in other countries. So we shouldn't be happy about this. Along that, we just experienced power cuts just a few minutes ago, actually. That's why I'm a little bit late. But Kenya has a new sensor to help Kenya power cuts and a blackout. We shall be checking on how they are looking forward to deal with that. But last but not least, we also want to talk about why people are very offended by Ibrahim Traore, the white people actually in his country who are saying that how comes if Traore is a very good president, why won't he set dates for election? And we know elections are rigged. We know elections are not democratic. We know elections is a way to instill their puppets in. But that is the top conversation for the day. Hope you guys are ready for the conversation itself. But of course, we have Mr. Blackfire in the building as we get started. I'll be starting with literally what is happening in Nigeria. Karibu sana, Keith.
Asante sana, Joby.
How you
How you
doing?
doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Man, I'm all messed up. I woke up late. I stayed up too late. and the more called me early in the morning. Shit, I was just falling asleep, and then I stayed up talking to him all the time. I had to go back to sleep, so I woke up late. I'm late.
I
I'm
kind of
late
figured
getting to Texas.
I kind of figured that, because if I don't find your message by around something 11, I know, I was like, you didn't text me to ask me anything regarding anything. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm asleep.
yeah,
You know, I'm like shit.
it is what it is. I hope you're gonna be able to catch, to go on time wherever
Well,
you are supposed to be today.
I gotta make it to Texas. I'm about 2 hours away. I should be able to make it. It's like 6 something, so I should be able to make it over there by at least 8 o'clock. So shit, god damn.
It is what it is. Hope you had a beautiful weekend, though.
I didn't do nothing this weekend but sleep. I didn't do no shows or nothing.
I told you guys. Remember, I told you on comments. You thought I was joking. Eating some ice cream, ice cream.
I sure did. I ate the whole damn box, Joey.
Oh my
Whole
goodness.
box. The whole box. There's something wrong with me, man. I got stuck. Ate the whole damn box, Joey. The whole box.
It is what it is. If it is nice, it's
Just
nice. Personally, I have some cookies I'm also addicted to. I get them
okay.
addicted. They're really, really nice, like super coconut crunchy. They're really so nice, so addictive, So I think I got it now. When you get something that you really, really like and you can't stop having enough of it, that's just me with these cookies. They're so nice. Super,
No
super.
shit.
But anyway, carry on to the rest of you guys joining. Shout out to you, Jibajapa. I see I had a beautiful weekend, and I'm looking forward to having a beautiful week ahead of you. Today, we shall be talking about Kenya and the UAE cooperating together. We shall be checking on that as our major conversation. Of course, Kenya also bringing up new censorship when it comes to electricity. We're just from having a blackout right now, so I wonder what they're talking about. What are they working? But starting with Nigeria, that was last week, and 2 weeks ago, I reported that the IMF did report that by 2027, Nigerians are going to be poorer. And of course, we've been checking at the economy of through some videos we've been sharing, of course, the history of Nigeria when it had the greatest economy, literally, uh, in the whole of the continent, and it was really doing amazing. But
Yep.
they got rid of the leaders who are enabling the country to perform better, like they always do, what they're trying to do with Ibrahim Traore right now. And if you look at today, Nigeria, most of the people are complaining when you talk about food, affording food, transportation, the roads are pathetic, and the more loans are being taken. So the country is not doing okay, even according to its own GDP. But that was last week. We also saw some rumors regarding, of course, when Bill Gates was shutting down his foundation, allegedly. Nigeria was among the countries that was able to pay off the debt that they owed. I wonder how they owed Bill Gates through the IMF, or the IMF through Bill Gates. It didn't make sense to me. But the IMF came forward and refuted these claims. That was during the weekend, and said that Nigeria has not fully repaid its debt. Of course, like we expected, this was not true. But they say Nigeria has fully repaid the 3.4 billion emergency loan it received from the IMF in 2020 under the rapid financial instrument to combat COVID-19 economics impact. This repayment was confirmed by Nigeria's finance minister and reflected the IMF's latest records, which removed the Nigeria from its list of debt. Let me read that. This repayment was fully confirmed by Nigeria finance minister and reflected that the IMF's latest records, which removed Nigeria from its list of debtors nation. However, the IMF clarified that Nigeria still owes an annual service fee of around $30 million in special drawing rights and the charges, reflecting ongoing financial obligations under the funds.
A service fee that means you were servicing the debt. See, it's always a scam. So they get more money from you giving these bad loans. It's all a scam.
Exactly.
That's why they put you morons in power to create these bad scams and keep a country in debt. That's why they do it. And that's why you puppets are always installed.
Mm-hmm. And still, he went ahead, of course, because personally, I knew when I saw that that was on Friday, and I reported the news, and I was like, nah, there's no way Nigeria is out of debt. Still under ECOWAS, that is a lie. If you are literally trying to work with the Alliance Sahel state, it would make sense that you don't, but you're still actually the chairman of ECOWAS. So please, go away with those rumors. But of course, he went ahead and asked Qatar to boost the investments in Nigeria to fight against poverty. I mean, this is how always going and begging. What the young man was saying, they always go around begging, bootlicking white men to help us while we have all the resources right here.
And Joe, show the video on TikTok before you get there. I want you to see how Ibrahim Traore was treated with dignity, and how these puppets are always treated with disrespect. See how they all get on buses and be like kids, treated with respect. Ibrahim Traore had Putin come with a special plane, pick him up, Joby, had 2 fighter jets beside that plane, and flew him all the way to Russia. And then he walked on the red carpet all the way over to Putin, and then walked through what they call the Kremlin with dignity by himself, and then had a meeting. Not that a one-on-one with him and Putin, not know a bunch of these dumb backward ass Negroes all together. They do an African, so no, just him. He said, we don't need your damn stuff. We need your technology. We need to be trained how to do it ourselves.
Exactly.
He said, we need to know how to do it ourselves. We need to build weapons to do what we need ourselves. So nothing like these bootlegs beg, oh daddy, come do our stuff, daddy, please give me money, daddy. Please bring your people to help us do everything, daddy. That's the moron's mindset. That's why he's accomplished in 3 years what none of these bootlicks have accomplished in 60.
Exactly. And I feel, of course, the confidence of Ibrahim Traore is what is shaking, of course, the rest of the world. We know that. And what he's
Of
doing.
course, they're scared to death. He's asking for dignity, Joby. Like I told you,
Yeah.
he's asking for dignity, Joe. Like I told you, don't let nobody ever disrespect you. That's what he's doing. But go ahead, Joe.
Because confidence comes with respect of your own self, number one. You'll understand how you want people to treat you.
Yeah.
There's some behaviors you won't tolerate. That is confidence, which will come with its own respect within you. And I feel, of course, when you look at this kind of leaders, what you have on your screen, Tinibu and the rest, that's why the disrespect, and now white men are trying to now literally get rid of Ibrahim Traore, because that is what they've been receiving for the longest time, of course, from these bootlickers. You're told to do this, you're gonna do it. You're told the IMF says your debt is not done, your debt is not done. What about the resources they have stolen in your own country? How much if
exactly
you want to do
those debts have been paid over and over again, but Joby, they don't have no military to fight. I just found out, I didn't know that the dumbass Africans had signed a treaty with white people. It doesn't make any sense. All these bootlicks, I think it was like 30 years ago, signed treaties not to ever develop African weapons, not to never develop a military, not to ever develop weapons, ever. You out of your fucking mind. They asked these Negroes to be children forever. And they said, okay, daddy. That's why. I said, why is though? But even Traore just broke all and said, nah, we don't agree with that. We're starting our own weapons manufacturing here. So I don't know what you're talking about. That don't even make any sense. Why you even sign anything like that? Go ahead, Joe.
Exactly.
I'm in a bad area.
I think there's a time, I don't know, one of us did a whole show on how much is coming from Nigeria daily in terms of oil, how much they make, literally, how much the rest of the countries are making out of just Nigeria itself. This is through Shell and the rest of the companies set up there. And then we have the Nigeria itself. It doesn't make sense. You have all the resources. You have the so-called refinery oil. We have the Dangote.
They sabotaged Nigeria with these puppets, because they knew within 10 years. This is back in 2015. They knew that within 10 years, Nigeria was projected to be a world power, not an African power, a world power. They had to stop that. Somebody introduced the terrorism with the Boko Harams and all the other shit. Stable putting all these puppets, because they already knew that Nigeria's too rich and it's got too many people. And so an African giant, it was going to be the Africans a danger, so they just destroyed it. But these goofy niggas allowed them to do it. Allowed them to come and destroy them.
And we ask why we're so behind. Like, if these are the kind of deals our leaders did sign, then we shouldn't be asking questions of why we're not so developed. Why do we have terrorists here? We signed literally agreements to not.
I didn't know that.
Ourselves,
That's all I know. I didn't even know that, Joe. So I was like, what? You can find on TikTok that agreement. Just type it in. I was like, this doesn't even make any sense. Who would sign some shit like this?
You should be.
All of Africa. I said, this is crazy. The African leaders signed an agreement not to develop militarily. I'm like, what?
It's crazy.
Who would sign something like this?
The same country which just borrowed money from Qatar to boost its economy is also complaining about its farming, where the production of food, of course, is going very low. They're saying Nigerian farmers
they're in the desert. Nigerian farmers struggle.
They're saying Nigerian farmers are struggling. Number one, they're claiming climate change. But if you look at not just climate change, which it's their BS of taking control.
That's a lie.
And all that. Still, I don't know how much of, let me see, how much of.
Now I figured out what you were saying, Joby, with those ants. How the people came instead. Because remember, ants put back nutrients in the soil. And since Europe and Asia soil is all messed up, they come into Africa's rich soil because they know you guys are stupid. That's what those ants were about. To regenerate their garbage ass soil in Europe, Joe. So they can grow decent food up there. Because Europe has nothing. That's what the ants. I said, what's this about stealing the ants? That's right. Ants give nutrients to the soil. That's why they were stealing all these ants and getting the queen, and why it's so expensive because their soil is garbage, Joe.
Exactly. So looking at Nigeria, I was trying to ask Nigeria what is the percentage of farming in the country. They're saying in Nigeria, agriculture contributes about 24% of the gross domestic product and employs over 36% of the country's labor force. And the sector is comprised of crop production, livestock, fishing, forestry, with crop production being the largest segment, contributing to 87% of the sector's total output. So I don't know if that is still don't make sense, still not making sense. The percentage is not really that big. And this is again
No, it's
where,
not that big. Listen,
yeah, we
Joby.
have the white men trying to steal
Nigeria,
all
Nigeria's
land.
number 5 in oil production. It shouldn't be poor at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just with its oil at all, just with its oil alone, Joby. Negroes have allowed white people to. This is the problem with the African man. There's no inventory. We got to get rid of these old. We got to get rid of these old Negroes in Africa. They got to go. They have failed. These old Negroes, these Musevenis, the Tinabus, the Paul Beers, the dude, all these old Negroes have got to go. The
Wow.
bootlicks and cowards.
Well, it is up to us to raise the fear again, because if you have
Yeah,
people like Ruto Museveni threatening you, abducting you,
yeah,
I mean, you will
yeah,
back out. You'll back off if you, especially if you don't understand this is about you. If you don't understand that literally politics is what governs our lives. It's your future,
yeah,
your children's future. It's your lands being marked territory of, your businesses being taken away from you. Chinese men literally building all these malls and everything they're building in your country as your company, as your life literally turns around upside down. It is crazy. We need to fight, African people. We really need to fight. We really need to fight. I really sometimes feel pity. I was looking at a video that I couldn't even, I don't want to share it, and I'm glad I didn't even save it somewhere on
all
TikTok.
right.
I was on TikTok yesterday and I was looking at a video. The same poor the most, of course, the biggest slum with the sewages and everything. Of course, we've shared that video a couple of times. We've seen children swimming on this video, and it is so crazy that children swim in this water. It's just
Yeah.
that
Full of,
I never
full of,
processed that. It's just
full of shit. It's
unprocessable.
full of shit. Full
We
of
have
shit and
spaces
piss.
in Africa, but I've never seen this even in my own country. But it's crazy that this is normal in Nigeria, in that particular slum. It is so sad. So there's this lady who always I don't know which charity she has, but I've seen her a couple of times on TikTok. She goes on to poor you
Gives out
know
money and gives out
yeah,
money. That lady. Yeah,
giving
that
out,
lady. I see it.
giving out money. So she bumped into this one girl. She was 9 years old, swimming on that sewage,
And that
and then
shit and piss.
yeah, questioning her about school. She doesn't even know her age. She doesn't even know her age. That is what even literally cracked my heart. I'm like, hold on.
Probably,
This is how
probably
poverty is
does,
so
Joby.
bad to the point you don't even know your own age, because you can't
Yes,
step
Joby.
in the school or class. You don't even know numbers. 1, 2, 3,
Because
4, 5. You don't know.
who's going to pay the school fees for it, Joby?
It's
School
supposed to be
fees.
free, for crying
I
out loud.
know. I know, Joby, but it makes your Africans stay ignorant and over religious, Joe. That's on purpose. Yeah, she's going to grow up as a moron. That's on purpose.
This woman was pregnant, still on the same video. She's being questioned how old of how many months is your pregnancy. She can't tell. She's being questioned at the
Wow.
same time, at what time are you going to give birth. She can't tell. So meaning, number one, this lady probably, she doesn't even go for clinic checkups, because they're supposed to be monthly clinic
Because
checkups.
she can't afford that, Joe. In a country like that, they can't afford it. That's what I'm telling you about. They keep in poverty, desperate on purpose. You're supposed to live all effed up. You can't go for no checkups. You can't checkups. You can't afford no damn checkups.
Sad. It is sad. It is sad. We should be very mad and furious when you look at France, when you look at the whole of Europe, look at China, look at the US. We don't care whether it's collapsing. All these resources are coming from Africa. We should look at literally everywhere around that is so developed more than us, and we should be mad, understanding that
Yeah.
everything is
How
coming
you
from.
how you be mad if you don't know that? If I kept like that, if you kept in ignorance, how do you know, Joe?
That's why I'm passing this knowledge. Whoever is gonna get this video, you should understand. You should be mad. This is to you, for you. You should understand. You should be mad. Let me share this video of this lady here. I didn't want to share this one either, but let me share this one. I felt the pain of this girl too. This is a girl in America, but she's like, we don't like how we live here. Like the black oppression is being felt everywhere, everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. You see, Trump is supposed to give all these foreigners, but they just brought in, I think, 10,000 Afrikaners. Yeah, South Africans, and brought them into Dallas. I don't know if they're going to sell them out, but they brought them into the Dallas area. I mean, they're going to stay there. They probably put them around the country. But their first you better put them in the mostly white state, because their first interaction with Black America, somebody's going to get hurt. They're going to get hurt because they're overly racist. You better put them in like Utah, Wyoming. You better put them in a really white state. Utah, Wyoming, Idaho. That's where you better put them at. You better not put them nowhere in the Northeast, nowhere in the Southeast, maybe somewhere in the Midwest, maybe like Iowa. But you better not put them around Black people because it's going to get dangerous. Go ahead.
Let me play about this economy of Nigeria.
Cracked soil and riverbeds now mark landscapes where water once flowed freely in northwestern Nigeria. Farmers here are battling severe droughts, the result of worsening climate change. Many have turned to digging wells to irrigate their crops, but it's a costly and unreliable solution. The rivers that sustained entire communities like Kwala in Sokoto State have vanished, and with them, the lifeline for agriculture.
And understand, there's no such thing as climate change. They have weather manipulation, weather manipulation technology. There's there's no such thing as climate change. That's fake. That's pseudoscience. It's a lie. It's fraud. So no such thing, and that's why you keep hearing it over and over again. All the people that want to push this lie, they own the media, so they push this lie. There's no such thing as climate change, guys, or climate, what's it called? Climate change or climate model, whatever they call it. It's a lie. Scientifically, it's a lie. But anyway,
I was watching one of their animations, and it is them themselves are saying it's like there's something that never changes, and it is climate. So how comes right now with these other propagandas you're telling us that climate does change? You know, in your own animations, you're telling us there's something that never changes. It's climate, you know, because what I got from that video and understood is we as Africans, to be specific, we know how to detect weather. We know seasons. Like right now in Nairobi, we know what season it is. Most of the people right now who have harvested, it's again a time to plant, because most of the people did harvest in April. The people are also planting right now because it is a rainy season. Yeah, by probably July, August, you're harvesting again. Then it's gonna be the rainy season. That is towards July. Plant again. We knew seasons. We knew how to actually store food again. We never knew what drought is. How comes there's drought in the most? It's not making sense. In the most fertile land, a land that's was producing now is.
It's not making sense. And also with Africa, that's why you don't cut down your trees. Your trees bring you also rain. When you plant trees, it helps the ecosystem keep your damn. I don't know if there's any trees out there that part of Nigeria. White man probably told them to cut down all their trees. Since they're stupid, they probably did it. You don't understand that destroys the rainfall in your area. You plant trees to bring in more rain, to make it more rainy, because the earth works on a symbiotic relationship with weather, trees and plants.
This is one of their ways, of course, of getting Africans to start relying on their GMO foods, their fertilizers, which destroys the soil. Then they're going to start bringing us GMO foods, which they have been doing, of course, in the name of aid. You know, we need more aid because soil now is destroyed. You can't produce anymore. So we're going to
but Joe said that's what even Torre said. So if you guys want to bring us seeds, we don't want any seeds that don't reproduce themselves, Russia. We don't want no GMOs. We're not paying for seeds that's part of nature. So if you want to bring us wheat, we're going to become completely self-sufficient. If you want to help us now, okay, you want to bring in wheat, we want the seeds. And we want the seeds that grow again. We don't want the seeds that can't grow again and destroy our soil. Exactly. So, but it didn't make any sense for you to do it. That's why they were pushing in Nigeria when they were killing people with the Boko Haram and destroying their farms and making them go buy fake seeds. It's diabolical.
But of course, we know. What was I to say? The train of thought just disappeared in my head looking for this video.
It
But yeah,
happens.
it didn't come back. But let me share this video related to just what we're saying. And of course, it's crazy why people are always telling us, their agendas every now and then. Why people are also telling us the agendas they have had for us, those who are well educated, a little bit
Yeah,
of our
their
history.
time has come. Their time is coming to an end. That's just a fact.
So let me share this
You can
quickly.
feel it. They
If you
feel
wanted
it.
to stop Africa from becoming a superpower,
Yeah, there you
you
go.
have to invent
Exactly.
a new strategy. The
Exactly.
blueprint
This
has already
AI
been
tells
written, tested, and
exactly.
perfected over centuries. You'd start by making sure Africa never unites. The easiest way to do that is by keeping people divided along ethnic, tribal, and religious lines. If they ever start working together, remind them of past.
It's coming to an end. Just like during this weekend, people are no longer tribal. We've been saying in Kenya, what has been happening, especially with abductions or arrests, people are literally throwing away their ethnicity differences, not caring, oh, this is a Kikuyu being arrested, so this is none of my business as a Luo. Kenyans right now are uniting. We're Kenyans, we're Africans. This is my brother. I need to understand why you are arresting this person. You don't have a uniform. You don't. Can you identify yourself as a cop? No, you have no right
Exactly.
to arrest this man. And I love the unity I'm really seeing amongst
That's
our people. It's
that's what they're
starting
scared of.
something, yeah.
Past grievances, stoke old wounds, fund separatist movements, keep border disputes unresolved, make sure every time they take one step forward, they take 2 steps back because they're too busy fighting each other. You'd install leaders who serve foreign interests, not their people. Find the most corrupt, the most easily manipulated, the ones who crave wealth and status.
Pause it. See, find a Negro with the big head Negro syndrome. I told you. It's AI trying to say what I said. Find a Negro's got the big head Negro syndrome. I'm the big king. I'm the big Negro. Go ahead.
It's such a shame, Kate. Even if I was just so zero uneducated, for real, there's no way you're coming to my house, my home, telling me, hey, I have the power to give you power in your own home, and I want you to serve according to my own interest. This includes,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you fake papers, okay? But all you need to do is just dig everything on your ground, including all the food, bring it back to Europe. Don't you think you sound like a slave? I mean, can you just watch more videos of slavery and understand what's really happening in our very own continent? For real, this sounds like, for real,
Yep.
it sounds like what they used to do. Come to Africa, they grab all the food. They tell you, oh, we see you're doing something we can do. You can feed our whole thousands of Europeans. We want you to harvest this maize. By the time we're coming back with a chopper, it's ready. And you say, yes, master. This
That's
sounds crazy.
that's what happens. See, now that you know the truth, you'll be like, how could this happen? Exactly.
This is just mind blowing. I always say the AI, and then the AI knows how to exaggerate shit. They serve foreign interests. That even made it worse.
Status more than progress. Offer them power in exchange for loyalty. If a leader rises who actually cares about Africa, get rid of them. Assassinate them if necessary. But if that's too messy, just destabilize their government and back a coup. If they talk about nationalizing resources, make an example out of them. If they try to unite Africa, take them out before the idea spreads.
Really hope, I don't know, is Burkina Faso part of the countries that signed, but because they're asking to build their own right now?
You don't have to but you ain't gotta accept no treaty. You tear it up. That's against what you gotta do. You don't keep that treaty going. You tear it up, Joe. That's what he did. You don't you're not beholden, Joe, but to keep any treaty that doesn't work in your benefit, and it doesn't. You come into power, you say, hey, this doesn't work for me. I'm getting rid of this. We're out of this nonsense. That's what he did.
I hope with the help of Russia, of course, building their own weapons as Burkina Faso, they
already started that. Exactly. They've already started their own weapons manufacturing. That's what's good. Exactly. This don't make any sense. Why would I sign a deal telling you I won't ever develop militarily while you come in and kill us and put all these terrorists in it and steal all our money? It doesn't make any sense.
It's crazy. How are you gonna defend yourself with the machetes and arrows again, Africans?
Exactly. It don't make any sense. I heard that said, who would even sign a deal like this? This is absolutely crazy. So you come in the power, you take power, you get rid of it. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Weak by making sure it never industrializes.
Yeah. Right. Never
industrialize. Keep it weak. Raw materials, but never process them themselves.
Exactly.
Control the mines, the oil fields, the rare earth minerals. Keep them selling cheap and buying expensive. If a country tries to break free and build its own industries, sabotage it. Place sanctions, destabilize its currency, fund local opposition, crash its economy. If that doesn't work, orchestrate a civil war. People can't build when they're too busy trying to survive. You'd make sure their education system produces workers, not innovators.
Teach them. And that is what they have ensured of us. People can't build when they're too busy trying to survive. Exactly a perfect strategy and perfect words. That is the same thing they've been doing. If you look at all this war among countries, I mean, most of the people have stopped going to school because look at a country like Congo. You know, look at a country like Sudan.
You can't build when you're destabilized. You can't educate. You can't learn when you're always in flee, always in flight. They've done this. They know what this. Hey, I just telling you what they've done, but we always know this. This is the playbook because that's how they stay rich. They got to keep Africa poor, Joey, to stay rich. They believe Africa. Their mind is so messed up. The Africans naturally love it. He would share with you and help you have a good civilization. But the European they want all of it. They don't want to share. They want all of it to themselves. So when they got Africa, Africa pulled these people out of poverty, Joe. So they believe if Africa rises, they're going to go back in Africa. They believe the Africans are just as despotic, just as rotten as they are. And that's just not true.
Wow. Just wow.
History that glorifies their oppressors. Make them think their cultures are primitive. Their ancestors were savages. Their future depends on
pause it. That's what Joby believed. Their ancestors were savage and evil. Exactly. That's the playbook. I know. I know. But your ancestors never raped nobody, never invaded nobody, never committed genocide. That's their ancestors. But exactly like this AI tell you. That's what you would teach them. But you get control. Right.
Train them to memorize, not to think critically.
Keep their no critical thought.
Best and brightest looking overseas for opportunities. Make them dream of escaping Africa rather than fixing it.
Exactly.
Offer scholarships.
I mean, that is every day. It's a daily thing. And I love the fact there was this Kenyan podcaster was educating Africans in general, telling them, man, you've been sold a very big lie of thinking America is everything or Europe is everything. You go there, you face racism, you're met with a culture shock, and it doesn't even end there. You find that the dream you're sold doesn't even exist. You know? Nope. The dream you've been sold doesn't even exist. The people who are actually even there in those countries are chasing that dream itself. They can't even grab it. So you think you're coming from another country as a guest, you're going to chase the American dream. You're going to be able to grab it while the Americans have not been able to. Are you crazy? You know, I love the fact how he said it, and it was like, we need to start waking up Africans and start understanding everything we've been lied to is right here. What we're chasing, they get it from here, they take it home. We just need to make our better. We need to make our lands better.
Scholarships that take their top minds to the West and never encourage them to return. Let the continent keep training doctors and engineers only for them to go enrich other nations. You'd control their narratives. Own their media. Control their stories. Dictate their image to the world. Make them believe they are corrupt, hopeless, eternally in crisis. Flood their screens with poverty porn and war zones. That's
Mr. Beast. That's the poverty porn. Flood their media with poverty porn.
That make them believe they are helpless without foreign aid.
Exactly.
You need a white man, you know. Thank you, Mr. Beast. Oh my God, Mr. Beast. You know, it's Mr. Beast. You guys, you know, we're drinking water because of Mr. Beast. I'm drinking Mr. Beast water. You know, what do you have, kids? You don't have Mr. Beast water. And then suppose we don't critically think again, that's also the tribalism bullshit gets in your mindset. You're like, oh no, I'm a Kikuyu. I have Mr. Beast water. You're a Luo. What do you have? You're drinking shit all water. Oh my my God. You need to do better.
Downplay their successes. Twist their victories into isolated incidents. If an African country develops a groundbreaking innovation, credit a foreign investor. If an African leader implements a successful policy, frame it as an anomaly rather than proof of competence. You'd make sure they remain dependent. Drown them in debt. Offer loans with impossible conditions. Force them to privatize everything so foreign corporations own their water, their electricity, their
own
land.
all their shit. That's what I'm teaching Demore. You don't privatize none of your stuff. That's why electricity. You don't get. That's the scam. They steal all your shit. You don't privatize. Let them own your they call the commons. Are you crazy?
When they struggle, give them just enough aid to keep them alive, but never enough to make them self-sufficient. Use charities to create a culture of reliance rather than resilience. Make them think foreign intervention is necessary, that they can't solve their own problems, that they always need help from the outside. You'd suppress their military strength. Keep their armies weak, their defense industries non-existent.
And that's what they did, to keep all the militaries weak. Africans don't have no military. They're all weak. Keep their military, as far as them building weapons, keep that non-existent, like you said. Exactly. There's no real militaries in those. That's why these Arabs can talk to you crazy. You think if I had a real military, these Arab countries would be raping our women? These are acts of war. You think there'd be slavery in North Africa? These are acts of war. These are acts of war. With a real military, you got no. Listen, do it again, it's war. It's open war. Break my women again, it's open war. You can't do that because Africa has no real military. Go ahead, Joe.
Each other, but never let them develop high-tech military technology.
Exactly.
If a country tries to build a strong defense system, accuse them of being a threat to stability. Make sure they always need foreign peacekeepers, foreign military bases, foreign...
It's crazy.
The fake peacekeepers.
This is just crazy. Oh my goodness, white people. I mean, oh my God.
Advisors controlling their security.
How do you play the victim in everything? This is just crazy. How they play victim in everything. I'm trying to make my life better, but no. A white man is affected because I'm trying to make my life better. That's a problem. A white man shouldn't see me happy. It's a problem.
Yes, Joe.
In my own continent. No, I'm not even in Europe. I'm not anywhere in the street.
Because your continent feeds my continent, Joe. You don't know that your continent feeds my continent. Your continent makes my continent wealthy. There's nothing in Europe at all. Nothing. That's why they even coming to steal the ants out of Africa. Nothing in Europe. I know.
Maybe you need to go back to your history, grow those cave nails, dig deeper in the ground of Europe. Maybe you're going to find some gold, silver, cobalt, or something in your ground. I don't care. But leave my continent alone. Shout out to Ibrahim Traore. Leave Africa alone. That's what's up.
Keep them vulnerable to invasion, coups, and foreign interference.
Right.
The formula is simple. Divide, corrupt, exploit, miseducate, control. Keep them fighting each other. Keep them looking outside for solutions. Keep them poor, dependent, insecure. Make sure every attempt to break free is met with resistance so strong that the next generation thinks twice before trying again. This isn't a theory. It's history. The real question isn't how to stop Africa from becoming a superpower. It's how Africa can break the cycle despite every effort to keep it down. If you wanted to stop...
Yep, so that is the video. That is how they've been keeping us, in their own control, in their own power, through our puppets, through playing with our minds, the knowledge they brought us, of civilization, and everything, which is just total bollocks. I learned it.
What tell me doing the British? Sound like you're a mosquito up in here. Bollocks. Nobody went full-scale British on us.
I've been watching a certain series. That's why I've been getting this accent. They're like, I'll not be saying BS anymore. I'll be saying bollocks. So get ready. But anyway, as I continue, as I get closer to winding up, on the last video or the last conversation of the day, I want to talk about, of course, Kenya. The same thing that they have said, they're gonna sign, create corporations that are not meant to help you grow, of course, in any single way.
Nope.
Thinking that, they're here to help you develop, what you're signing. These African leaders, you've been told, if you try do this, these are the consequences. I believe they know.
These morons all know there's no development.
They know.
These morons all know that they're putting power. You think Riddle don't know he's supposed to be at the Hague in prison? He knows that they don't want to say he's doing that bit. He knows that. He's supposed to be locked up for committing genocide in 2007, burning people up in churches. Everybody knows that. He was at the Hague, and then they quietly dismissed it because they said, "Listen, Negro, you're gonna be our puppet. We're gonna put you in power. This is what you're gonna do." Okay, yes, boss. I go do what you tell me to do, boss. Yeah, you're gonna do it. And we're gonna lock your nigga ass up.
Period. But they're saying Kenya and UAE have signed the customs cooperation and mutual agreement, and that this is in custom matters aimed to strengthen enforcement, enhancing collaboration, safeguarding the economy, indeed, social and cultural interest of both countries. Cultural interest. You don't even respect our own culture. You kill our people. You kill our women. Mistreat our women. How is that a respect of culture? You make women drink their own blood.
But they can't. They can't write that in the thing. We disrespect you, make you drink your own blood and drink your own poop and urine. We can't write that up.
I'm trying to understand personally as the intermediary of this conversation between Kenya and UAE. How are cultural interests met?
Because I told the UAE was going to become for Kenya. They want to destabilize and steal what's in Kenya. All these Arabian countries, Joby, are really poor. The oil, they don't got this desert. They don't got any food or nothing out there. So they need Africa. They're still not Africa. So you get another moron in there like Kenya, and you worship these people. Especially leaders, they worship everybody that's not black because they're stupid. So they actually believe, like the AI said, that everybody's better than them. So you come in and offer nonsense, but you really do. The UAE is not an honest actor. They're coming in to steal wealth out of Kenya and destabilize it, Joe.
Of course.
It's called tribalism.
Of course. So the UAE's AI DAR company is in talks to lease 200,000 acres of farmland.
Told you some more land. I told you to get the land so they can feed their people.
Mm-hmm.
Why they shit? Now who would come? You think you would come to me, Joby? I know you done pissed and shit on my people, kill them, unalive them, talk crazy, and you asking for some of my farmland to feed your rotten ass people. You out of your mind.
You want cooperation, Kate. I mean, how do you expect me to help you cooperate if you don't want any of this? Even if, come on, I killed your people, so what? I mean, people die. That's what
I'm telling you the weakness of the African man. No one would ever. You can't come to me talking about you need some. Oh, I need to buy some land so I can feed your people. I'm gonna smack you in the mouth.
And being honest,
first of all, I would say any problem with any of my women over there or any of my men, this land's gonna be seized. The deal will be off. We'll take all the land back, and we'll cut your ass off. That's what you. No, you don't act like a bootlick in your own country, Joby, with other people who need you.
Those are not our official skit. They said we're the ones who take our cultural backward behaviors there, so we do it this way. And they even added,
I know.
They added, there's an official who added, people die. So what? Come on, people die. So what do you mean only 100 Kenyans died? Oh, people die. So don't talk to me about not us cooperating, Kate. But
that's crazy.
This deal is part of the largest irrigation development project at Galana. Mind you, I'm on Google. I'm not even in this article I'm sharing on the page. I just asked Google how many acres does the UAE own in Kenya. And of course, they're saying the 2,000 acres of farmland in Kenya. And this deal is part of the largest irrigation development project at Galana, where AI Aldar, I don't know if it's AI or Aldar, plans to invest $800 million to farm the land. The project also includes the construction of Galana Dam to support an additional 350,000 acres for food production.
You would never allow this, joke. Before cut your own land. You say, okay, my farmers can't provide food for you. You'll pay them. But you come in the Kenyan owner land to help. You would never allow it. Yeah,
So in total,
you wouldn't even entertain this nonsense. Like, are
of
you
course,
crazy?
in total, the UAE owns 550,000 acres of land in Kenya to finish
Yeah,
their power.
I would say you don't own none of it. If I came to power, you own none of it. Those deals are done. Get
Well,
your ass out of here.
give
Now,
me my
now,
money.
now, I'm not giving you nothing. You kick
Yeah,
rocks. This
I
is
get,
this what you
I
do.
get
This what you do
me.
when you're in power, Joey. I'm not giving you no money, UAE. You lost. I don't know. The dumb leader before me signed that. If you
I
want
get
to, we'll go to war. You don't got the numbers to go to war with me, boy. So
Kenya.
I tell you, you don't got the numbers to go to war with me, boy. There's no
Kenya.
Arab country got the war. You don't got the numbers.
Kenya, you received 800 million from me, US dollars, not Kenyan shillings, US dollars. So I need that back.
And I'm keeping it. So
And
what?
like Nigeria, you will
And
pay with interest, okay, with the
I won't be.
service.
I'll
Service.
laugh in your face. See, when you got military power, Joe, you laugh in people's face. I'm laughing in your face. Come get it then. You say, I owe it? Make me pay it. Make me pay it. You don't want to go to war with me. You don't got the numbers, UAE. We got 10 people in that country. You don't want to go to war with me. So the answer is you better kick rocks and keep it pushing. That money's gone. Call that a bad investment? See, when people have investment, you lose money. And I lost, I thought I lost a lot of money. Just, oh my God. But anyway, that's a different story. Anyway, you said investments, Joe, but you lose money. So investments they call that as a bad investment. You lost the money. That I can do. You better keep pushing. That's it. That's it. Now, if you need my people to farm for you and you want to do trade, but you won't own no land in my country. I have farming set up with you, but it's an exchange of wealth. So my people will farm and give you food. You know, you'll pay them. That's exchange of wealth. But you come and buy land doing yourself now. That's been not allowing that. The last leader did that. Go get your 800 million from his ass. But as far as me in Kenya, that's over. That's a wrap. And I
Well,
double dare you to go to war with me. You
well,
want to go to war? And that's what
you,
we'll do.
you still need us to cooperate because maybe we might help you also deal with Kenya power cut, blackout. That is the next.
No, I build my own power. I don't need you to do nothing. I'll start building my own power. I'm actually, guess what? We're African. We are adults. That means we can build our own infrastructure as adults. I don't need you for nothing. What do I need you for? More to get what sand? There's more oil in Africa than there's ever been in damn what they call, which is Northeast Africa, even Arabia, but that's where north. So what do I need the UAE for? What do you make? Absolutely nothing. You don't make nothing. There's nothing made in the UAE.
You need my Farahat, being visible in
I,
your media.
I need your who?
Farahat.
you somebody that goofy hat. You keep your goofy hat. I'm good. I'm good. You keep the goofy hat. And if you try to put that because what they want to do is stoke religious. There's so many Arabs down in Africa. They want to stoke religious conflict between Christians and Arabs.
Mm.
And if you stoke that conflict, we'll just ship all the Arab Negroes who worship that shit over to your ass. So okay, because anyway, that's it. The deal is done. There ain't no 800 million. The acres are not yours. This is Kenya. So that fake money that you were given, that fake money you gave us, that paper, you keep your paper. Well, I don't know what happened to it. Last guys kept it. You gonna get it from him.
But as we wind up, I gotta wind up. Demore is waiting for me.
Yeah.
Let me finish up quickly with the last conversation of the day, where the Nairobi Kenya Power is currently installing new sensors on its power lines to detect line faults, temperature abnormalities, and the mechanical stress in real time, reducing outages besides improving grid performance. And the Mega's MGS sensors, whose rollout began today, are being implemented by Amotech Africa in partnership with Mega, a global electrical test equipment manufacturer. And in recent years and months, Kenya has been treated to frequent electricity blackouts running into hours, resulting into millions of losses of businesses as well as households that rely on power for operation. And such outrages have often resulted in public outrage at the power utility firm, necessitating that they need to address the problem, and of course looking forward to see if they're gonna solve this, because power's really been disappearing a lot. Saturday I woke up with no lights in my house personally. It's been happening, especially during the weekend. It's like I should expect in my home I don't have lights. You find sometimes you come to the studio trying to help yourself.
That's why you can't build manufacturing, because you don't have that's on purpose. Why is that all throughout Africa there's no regular light? Because with energy creates manufacturing. You can't create manufacturing without a reliable energy source. You can't have lights going out every other day in any factory production, because it costs too much money to restart the factories. That's why. Why is Africa with all these damn power outages from Ghana everywhere? Like even Tory said, what sense does it make us to be in the richest continent? We got power outage. That's unacceptable. Exactly. You're not supposed to have power outage.
Burkina Faso, I've seen the streets are full of lights right now.
They're building a nuclear power plant. They're not going, and also building a dam to make sure there's no so they can give electricity to Mali and Niger. So these, like I said, we're not playing by the old rules no more. There won't be no more power outages in Africa like this is norm. You're not supposed to be living with power outages, Joe. This ain't supposed to be the norm. That's why a big power outage was 20 years ago when what was that hurricane? A second one. What was the name of that hurricane that hit Tampa? I was living in Tampa. I think that was Hurricane Charlie. I want to say it was like 2004. That's the last power outage I've ever had. That was 21 years ago. But that was because of a natural disaster. That was a hurricane hit Tampa. I think I was out power. I was out power, and I couldn't deal with it. I was out power for like a week. Hurricane Charlie. I was in that house so hot. I was like, God damn, I'm hot. But I had a generator. I got a generator in my house now that I haven't even. Joey said, I got a big ass generator inside my house. I bought like 3 years ago. It's been sitting outside my front door. Because I was thinking, man, if I ever get a real power cut, I'm gonna need this generator. But I ain't never opened the box. It's been sitting outside my house for 3 years, just sitting there. I mean, I got a huge generator. That's what I got. $1,200 to make sure the whole house will be there. It generates, it works on the whole house, right? But I never been without power on a long basis since back then, 21 years ago. That was because of a hurricane and that ran through middle Florida and took out the power. You might have a power outage every now and then, like when you have a storm in Florida, but it'll go on for maybe an hour and then come back on. But that's rare. I haven't had that happen like maybe 2 times in the last 20. But that's the last time I remember a real power outage. That was 21 years ago. Okay. Africa's every goddamn week. and not no national disaster. This is a hurricane. This is what they call a typhoon. A typhoon hit middle Florida. So that's understandable. Tore people's houses up, tore my fence up back in the day, tore a little bit of my shingles off my roof, my roof and all. But that was a natural disaster, a typhoon. But not in regular weather where the rains and this regular shit. That's on purpose. That's on purpose.
As I wind up, Jiba Jaba says he had a bad weekend, having a tooth infection. And
man, Jibba, you make it you got a tooth infection, brother. Did you get what's that tooth stuff called? Ambisol or what's that? Ambisol or Orgel? At least calm it down, because it's the nerve. That nerve. Oh man, I had a tooth infection 15 years ago. I thought I was gonna die.
Just get it extracted,
You gotta wait. In America, you gotta set up a damn appointment with the dentist. You can't just walk in there. You gotta get extracted, but it takes time, man. That should drive you crazy. You can't. Ain't no pain like a toothache pain.
You can't walk in like us, and just get it extracted.
No, you gotta set up an appointment, Joe. You can't just walk in and say they're gonna ask you, Joe, but you got an appointment? No, my tooth is so I just extracted. Well, okay, we'll call us and make an appointment, Jovi.
Sorry, that doesn't happen here.
So,
You've seen my appointments, like, you know,
I know you. I know you just go in. No, you got an appointment. If you come back, Joby, make an appointment. We'll let you know when we can fit you in. You might not get in there, Joby, for like 4 or 5 days.
All right. Jibba also says that was the big sign of respect on his Moscow. I gotta go. Demora is nagging me with the phone. Shout out to Samuel. You're doing amazing. Shout out to you. Shout out to John Mosquito. Jibba also says they'll send them to Pittsburgh. And the John Mosquito says African people have grown up thinking living in slums are normal until they see other continents. I'll say that to myself.
I know. They know, you know, and they've normalized living fucked up. Like when Joby said, okay, when we showed that slum in Rwanda, Joby said, that's not a slum. That is a slum, Joby. It might be a nicer slum, but that's some garbage. You should live in that. That's a slum.
I also see Canfire says climate change means changing the economic climate of Africa and get it to zero carbon, which is less melanin lol. And then I also see Jibba says trees breathe carbon and release oxygen, basic science, of course. I also see he says during 70s the pit was the coming ice age in the 2000s. Jarrell says, I think it's called photosynthesis. Jibba jabba. Come on, okay, you guys on science. And I also see Sinovia Karibu Sana, nice to see you. Hope you're doing amazing. She says, I didn't believe that is what we're taught, John Mosquito, that our ancestors were evil. Jibajab also says, make them dream of a blonde wig in heaven. That's me. Come on. I also see Sister Sinove says, Africa leaders need to agree on one military, but they won't. That is not going to solve
They won't. You got to get rid of them. Exactly. That's right. You can't like act like these African leaders are not puppets. They all got to go.
John Mosquito says they believe that black people should suffer for them to live good. That's their religion believes. And
exactly, they do believe that.
Sinovi also says Africa is a continent. It's supposed to have electricity power. John Mosquito says I remember that's when the hotels were charging an arm and a leg. John Mosquito says Joby, didn't they take Katie's tooth out with the players in Tanzania?
They took out the wrong tooth in Tanzania, and she got mad because Joby laughed. That shit was funny. I told you wait to get to Kenya.
No, she accused me. She said I collaborated with the doctor. Like, are you crazy?
No, how could you collaborate with the doctor? You don't even know the doctor.
That's what got me mad. I'm like, what are you talking? I was there. I even took my own time to take you to say.
Yeah, you went with it. That's how Katie was young and crazy. I said, Katie, how can Joby collaborate with a doctor? Joby don't know the Tanzanian dentist? She took you there. What are you talking about? See, guys, how's she gonna tell the doctor to take out the wrong tooth in your head?
She said that's what she said. But anyway, family, much love. Shout out to Kate wherever she is. Sending love. But much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Have yourselves an amazing evening. Of course, see you guys later tonight on the Africa Today show. Hopefully, yeah. I don't know what is the plans for the evening, but
the plan is to make it back. The plan is that everybody was going to a certain place because I think everything's ready. Did the carpenter show up yet?
I'm not sure. Let me meet up with Demore, then I'll hear.
Because I know the other stuff is already put in there. The camera, the Wi-Fi. So we just need the chair. So,
okay, yeah, we'll see what's popping, family. Just stay on hold. You guys, we can't break the news. Wait till December when Jesus is coming. Then he'll let you guys know. Jesus will be coming bearing the news.
Man, it might get your passport, but it might not be coming because I just found out. Man, I spent a lot of money on a bad investment. God damn. I didn't know it was that bad. It's bad. Wow.
But anyway, much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful,
Wow.
beautiful. You
I
guys.
spent so much money. I need to kick myself in my own ass. Oh my God.